unorthodox way to cross a bridge is crossing on the roof of the bridge. But I guess that's what we do here in the City of God.
Oh, bullshit!
Yes, thank you.
Tonight on YouTube.
Vi o
It's you.
vídeo dele na YouTube. Eu vou passar pra o place, and he knows that people are good people. He just says that it's a lot of, missing a fault of education,
Right.
Ele é cara legal. Educating the mind without
Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. The era of education is the condition of suspended judgment on everything.
Esse é o mestre da Du, Cris, do Canadá. Tá aí conhecendo. Isso aí, Henrique.
Beleza, Henrique?
Isso aí é o nosso mestre da Du, dono da academia.
Aí, né?
E aí na parte da tarde, eu programei pra gente ir na 13.
Right now we're in one of the lower parts, then we're gonna head up to another kind of stairs that will lead us up to the second part. And then in the afternoon, we'll hit up 3 small parts in the community here. And you can see that, it's a nice day out at least.
Yeah, no rain. Is he born here?
Você mora aqui toda a sua vida? Você nasceu aqui?
Sim, eu sou cria daqui, morei aqui 24 anos, me tornei fotógrafo aqui.
He's lived here for 25 years. He's born here. He works with Vozes Comunidades, which is like voice of the favelas, the communities. So when there's an operation, when there's violence, when there's protests or anything, he's here, always taking pictures. He's part of their equip, their team.
Bom dia, senhora.
Bom dia.
E eu quero mostrar uma parte onde era,
Vamos lá.
né, só barraco.
Tá.
E aí foi construída uma escola e
Tá
tudo
ligado.
mais, a galera foi removida.
Okay. They're waiting for these houses to be demolished. However, they're gonna build new structures for the people who live here. It's just that due to the process of, corruption, government, bureaucracy, this is a really, 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 really slow and agonizing process. But they really want to give dignity back to the people who live. I mean, because you can see this is raw sewage.
Right, there's not much here.
There's nothing here. There's no structure for them to live.
E a senhora?
Então, mas
E aí, Rony, também é muito importante você falar isso pra ele, né? Um pouco da história. A gente começa a ter escola de samba,
sim.
né? A gente começa... E aí em 85 a gente... Isso aqui...
Essa escola.
Isso. Aqui era tudo barraco, tudo casa, né? Tudo construção...
1980, in 1960, Cidade de Deus was created, right? People were thrown out of favelas in other areas, communities in other areas, and they came to here. They started the City of God. Then in 1985, they started kind of improving the situation. They started an actual, like association.
Right.
And so now this is something that was built in the 2000s. What we saw back there beforehand, all those barracas and tents, those were destroyed. They were right here in the same spot, and they built a little, this is a nursery school for kids. So they're going to do the same thing there. They're going to build something, they're going to destroy it and build something else and bring people some more dignity. Mas agora tá fechado, né? Por causa da pandemia, ou ainda tá aberto?
In recent years, is it getting better
Tá
or
melhorando,
worse?
ou a situação tá melhorando?
Like more
ou tá
dangerous?
piorando? Tá mais perigoso? Tá mais tranquilo? Como você
Tá mais
sente?
tranquilo, então, isso que eu queria mostrar pra vocês. Então aqui, se vocês repararem, as casinhas, tá vendo? Elas são... Era mais ou menos o que tinha pra cá.
Sim.
Do these houses have electricity, running water?
Casas têm água, luz?
Sim, tem
Toilets.
água, luz,
Yeah.
todas elas são encanadas, tem
Mais, tipo,
esgoto.
mais...
Se você reparar a margem, aqui é a linha amarela, a gente vai passar por ali.
These barricades here?
Yes.
So it's a problem politically because a lot of people hate this. They put these barricades along the entire, because this was built in 1997, this highway, so all of these barricades in a block, they block everything. And so people get really sad because they can't show their area, they can't show where they live.
Yeah.
It gives a bad image and a bad representation, like, oh, it's a dangerous place, it's a dangerous favela, you can't look inside.
Right.
And it's sad that that's a form of isolation, you know?
Vendo?
Mm.
E aí eles colocaram esse tapume Pra que você, tá vendo? Ele lá de fora, ele tem um desenho, até explico isso pra ele. Quando você passa e acha bonito,
There's a design outside to make it look beautiful. So when you see
pra
it,
que você, isso, e aí esconde a realidade,
so
que é a
it hides the
favela.
reality of the favelas. It doesn't do anyone a service.
Cesta básica. Claro, uma criança da favela pra dar um tênisinho, uma roupinha, ele pode vir, entendeu?
É, ele vai sair, mas é uma possibilidade, tipo, quando ele chegar no Canadá, fugir. So we're gonna go to a woman, Gisele, o nome dela é o quê? Gisela. Gisela has like a collective here, a social collective where she gives income, food, basic baskets, and holds many types of things to help the people in the community. So we're gonna go meet her and check it out and kind of...
Yeah, as we're talking, what does this say?
Isso.
What is it, sorry?
It's like the friends
É um
of the-
recado para que você seja bem-vindo, mas que você curte a favela e não seja, não venha com maldade, com tranquilidade.
So it's kind of like the troops are welcoming you to the favela, you know? So it's like, this is like a message from the drug dealers.
Can people from other favelas come into this favela?
Ele queria saber sobre pessoas das outras comunidades, pode vir. Can't always, and from certain communities with other drug dealers and factions,
Right.
you cannot. Like, tipo, outra comunidade que você é da milícia, não pode.
Não pode, isso.
So if you're like,
outra facção.
so if you're from another faction or militia,
Yeah.
you can't come here.
Eu queria muito que vocês conhecessem aqui em cima, para vocês terem uma visão boa. Será que ele topa aí?
Yeah.
A gente atravessa
And then what?
Vai pra onde?
e aí a gente sobe aqui, ó.
Tá bom.
Yeah,
Pra
let's
gente
go.
ter uma noção. Você pega aí pra mim? Pra gente ter uma noção. Não sei se consegue entrar.
Cute baby.
All these are American artwork. This is from an American...
Artist. Just living is not enough. One must have sunshine, freedom, and little flower. I think it's little. Focus.
At every place they have these. Ele tá perguntando aí sobre
Sim, são barricadas.
Like this is right in the ground.
Yep. It's concrete. Pure concrete. Like you have to have... Eu tô falando, tipo, eles fazem a pressão só pra tirar. Então eu tava explicando a eles, tipo, tem dias que eles nem...
I notice there's a lot of older people here. Like they've been here probably since the 60s, no?
Ele tá falando, tipo, ele tá vendo muito idoso. Like, a lot of these people, these elderly people have been here for like 30, 40, or 50 years. And many of them come out into this little park here in the morning and they get some sun, you know, and they kind of relax.
Can you imagine the stories they have
I mean,
living here?
what they saw beforehand, there was none of this here. So
Right.
like all of this was forest, was farmland.
But I mean,
You know?
over the last 50 years,
saw everything.
how much has changed?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
they've seen everything get destroyed. Ele tá falando, tipo, muito mudança. Like, just imagine many, many years ago, arriving in this favela when it was all forest, all woods, all green. And now you have somebody like these elderly here just sitting there, we're gonna walk past.
Yeah.
That now see what it's just a concrete jungle. Like you call New York City a concrete jungle, but this is really a concrete jungle. You must imagine how sad it must be to see the entire community go from green and small to gigantic and concrete everywhere.
So these are constructed to stop police from entering.
The car's gonna come back.
Very tightly.
So basically, so what
Você prefere que eu fale inglês ou fale português?
you can speak in English.
yeah, if you can speak English.
Ô, mano, tu falar inglês? Sim. Quero chegar aqui mesmo.
Já no chão.
É, quem tá ligado.
Primeiro eu vou fazer uma narrativa em português porque eu falo melhor sobre política.
Basic sanitation, you're saying. This is the worst that...
Comunidade aqui no
Right.
Brasil. E os políticos vêm em anos eleitorais
E só isso.
para poder fazer reformas. A gente já teve um político chamado, que eu falo muito, Jânio Quadros. Jânio Quadros, ele se torna um corporativismo.
So basically, he's talking really quick about the basic sanitation. This is a really serious issue. 35% of people in Rio de Janeiro have basic sanitation. One thing that really, we just had an election here. We literally had an election a few weeks ago, and the mayor who has...
When you say here, you mean here?
Here in Rio
This
de
was-
Janeiro,
okay,
and the
Rio.
mayor of Rio. And so what happened was they come here to these communities, they say, oh, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna make a project, I'm gonna give you basic sanitation. They start to do one little thing, they put in one little pipe, they fix one little hole, and then everyone votes for them. And everyone becomes blind and, oh, he's gonna fix it, and then nothing happens.
Right.
This was literally supposed to be fixed. That rock there was gonna be something to fix this whole area. It was just promised a few weeks ago. The election passed, and you know what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing. So he's talking how it's super important, the school, the education system, how he works with kids, what he does to help produce better kids in our future. He's explaining literally here in Brazil, there is so many kids who have no sexual education, they have no financial education, they come right out of school and they're not prepared at all for this world. And nonetheless, Rio de Janeiro, which is even more difficult. So you really got to understand. So he's actually a really, really intelligent person.
I can tell.
Really, really sensible, and has a vision that a lot of people don't have. So it's beautiful to see young men and women.
One day the future
with a vision.
president.
Ele disse, pô, uma mente bem aberta para entender as coisas, as outras pessoas que nem entendem, que nem conseguem entender.
Eu acho que o político, saneamento básico.
Tá ligado?
Olha como é que é o nosso saneamento básico.
This is it. Como eu falei, 35%. Tá ligado? Viu o campo lá na rua de principal, né? Onde, like we saw that soccer field was totally beautiful and done. And then look at this one. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. Fora da vista, fora da sua mente.
What the hell?
What the hell?
Eu vou pegar o caninho e o moleque vai aqui. Ó, você viu, as crianças. Ai, Keninho, vindo sobre a tua escolinha quando vocês treinam, quando chove, a dificuldade que fica, sobre a lama.
Porque o governo tem que vir aqui ajudar. Botar tipo um sintético aqui, né? E botar um telhado por causa da árvore aí, ó.
Lines in the field, they use flour. And they make it in a little, like, bag, and they make their
line, right?
the lines, yeah. They make the half field and the goal out of flour.
This is brother and sister?
Essa aqui é a sua irmã?
And what's the name of the bird?
Qual o nome do passarinho aí?
Tizil.
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 Tizil?
Tizil.
Chizu.
A água de esgoto desce de lá, vem daqui, ó. Isso aqui, ó, é a encanação.
Pure sewage on the side of your house. Lovely.
Isso aqui, ó, olha aí, ó.
Aí, mas calma aí, eu vou explicar rapidinho pra ele. So he was talking basically about this little kid that was here in this little field.
Yep.
This is completely abandoned field, right? We're talking about the political situation. So his buddy there, he takes what he can do. He takes care of this field. He does like some work. He cleans out the leaves. He puts sand. He wants to get some, for some things for like
To play nets
to play
and stuff.
football nets. But it's unfortunate. It's a journey, man. It's not easy. So he was just explaining the whole situation about what he goes through. How much the degradation of this place has gone downhill so quickly. It's sad. It's all sad. Imagine walking through here, no lights, sem luz, sem nada. Se você passar por aqui de noite.
Aqui, ó, olha isso aqui, ó. Criança agressiva pra
Não fotos. Não fotos.
Ai,
Vamos ver. Sempre ajuda. Você ajuda, mãe? Pra você, mãe. Pra tu? Que isso? Não, mãe. Ele quer. Valeu? Nada, pô. Vamos ajudar ele.
What's the Bill Gates?
Sorry?
How's the famous Bill Gates?
Chris Gates.
E a gente deveria termos
Revolution.
Aí a gente vai lá, tá? Qual é o seu nome de novo?
Now he has to watch tonight.
Miguel,
Tonight on YouTube.
vi o
It's
vídeo
you.
dele na YouTube. Eu vou passar para o Vitor aí. Isso.
Se ele pode comprar algum.
Ele compra tipo uns bolas de futebol, algumas coisas pra você.
Football.
Claro, sim, vamos lá agora.
You tell me what you need, okay?
Ó, esse aqui é meu administrador mirim, você vai falar.
Vambora.
It's like you, the same.
Isso aqui é muito inteligente, isso aqui.
See,
Rapaz, aí tá
intelligent, I understand.
Vem cá no espaço.
Vamos lá.
Vem cá. Vem cá que eu vou contar a história desse projeto. Esse projeto aqui, todo esse espaço aqui, era de um estuprador.
Okay, so this was a house of a rapist.
Right.
When he got caught, the bandits and the people kicked him out, and now it's so where it was a place where there was a lot of hurt and pain.
Yes.
Now it's a place of healing, and so there's actually some of the people who were raped by this man that are working here to this day, helping kids who are trying to stop victimism.
Wow.
Já tenho
Anil.
trabalho desde os meus 16 anos lá no Anil. Aí vim aqui ajudar o Cacau, eu assumi o sub-13 e o sub-15.
Servio aqui has been working. He's from Anil, né? He was working in Anil. It's another community actually of militiamen. He came here so he came here, right, to do this project. They actually sell oil, old cooking oil. They make about R$2 per oil, which is like a few cents, to be honest, in dollar and Canadian.
Right.
And they have to spend around like 20 cents to make it. So that's basically the primary income maker here for them to buy products, supplies, whatever.
Right.
They have a large collection here of kids, 200, and it is their soccer field is dirty and dilapidated, but they're working every single day to improve the situation. I mean,
And is the idea to just keep the kids off the street, to keep them
so
busy?
the idea
Right?
is to keep the kids out of drug traffic. You know, I mean,
Right.
a kid that is once a kid enters drug traffic, the chances of them getting out, especially the younger they are, is next to nothing.
Right.
And education is the biggest thing to prevent drug traffic. Kids who enter, people who are in drug traffickers, 90% of drug traffickers have a lower education level than 7th grade, which means that, you know, education is important to keeping them out.
Então vou te mostrar aqui só a
Claro,
sala de...
que isso? Pode sim. This is the oil they use. Essa aqui é o vai fazer, né?
So where did they get the oil?
Anyone gets, because you don't want to throw it in the trash, right, down the drain.
But I mean, he goes house to house to get
Você
it?
vai para as casas, você pede pessoas para trazer para cá.
Algumas tragam ou a gente vai no...
So they make contracts with some like commercial locations for them to save it for them, so they can come pick it up. They also have people who bring it to them.
And then they, what, filter it? And
Você coloca no filtro, você faz o que com essa óleo aqui? Como você faz tipo, they just like basically collect the oil, and then they sell it to someone who repurposes it.
Right.
So they don't have the machine to repurpose it, they're just selling it to people who repurpose
A
it.
gente
and how much do they sell that for?
Two
Two?
reais.
Yeah.
também é pet.
So they got all the tops of bottles, and they were able to just trade it for like a little wheelchair.
And how many bottle
Quantos
tops
tampinhas?
do you need to get that?
Precisa. Quantos?
1000 também.
1000? 1000. 1000 tampos. 1000.
1,000 tops gets this. And what is this
Essa
used
aqui é
for?
tipo roda para banheiro, né?
Isso.
So it's to put over the toilet so people can sit. It's for people who are
Oh,
yeah,
by handicapped, right?
handicapped. So they use it. They put it over. They slide it over the toilet and it's
Yeah.
good to go. Hey, hello.
Hello, people.
Good morning.
Fala com ele aí, ó. Welcome to...
It's your twin.
Fala.
Ele é administrador mirim do nosso projeto.
Alright,
Welcome to
welcome to
the City of God.
the City of God.
Isso aí.
Alright.
Very good.
Yes.